Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. Today folks, I've got another tasty bite for you, another bite that's just dripping juice. My boy, the Gandalf of digital detectives, has found some more information in the game files, which doesn't really give us a release date of what I'm going to show you today, but it does prove to us that it is in the design directive of the game. It is in the design idea of the game. I was so excited when he brought me this information, and because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. He is like a digital detective Gandalf. He discovers stuff that the rest of us just don't even understand what he's doing, but it's amazing nonetheless. And even though he wants to remain nameless for obvious reasons, because if I start throwing his name out there, we may both end up not playing the game one day. But I want to bring it to you anyway because it's just that good. I can't resist. Because this information is, like I said, something that's near and dear to my heart personally. Because I'm just going to say this. Whenever I first opened the game, on release day, on the global release, I was not privy to the testing phase, so I did not get to see possibly what was in the game that got taken out, or some of the stuff that they showed the testers possibly that they haven't even released yet to the rest of us. So I don't have that base knowledge of history to go on, but I can say I can see what he's showing me, and it's there. Now, I do need to preface this by saying that the developers of this game have not told us anything about this information. So we do not know, honestly, if it's going to be released, if, when, or ever, really. But you can't deny that it's there. And when you see who it is that I'm about to talk about, you'll know that it's key, it's pivotal. And if you have it in there, it's obvious that you're going to put it in the game at some point. Because this is a person that you just can't not have in this game. This is someone that I would say should have been in at release, but honestly, I just don't know what their design directive is. They may be saving him for a shot in the arm when the game starts to die and they need to beef it up. Who knows? Who knows what their thinking is on this? They may have some kind of timeline that they're releasing content on, I'm sure. Because if you've seen one of my last few videos, you saw where I showed you what the next gold road was going to be. And we talked about the Red Wedding and Walder Frey and those kind of things. So we know what the next gold road is going to be after Grey Worm. Be sure to go back in my playlist and look for that video if you want to see that. So we know that they do have a plan as far as when content is releasing, and then shortly after that I showed you a video about Roose Bolton, who we found assets for in the game, and that obviously ties in very well with the Red Wedding. So I'm going to postulate the theory that he is going to be released with that content coming soon, but this one right here is kind of out of place with that directive next, because he is someone that is kind of in a different era of the lore of Game of Thrones. He is obviously, and I'll just go ahead and show you here real quick, he obviously is someone that, let me figure out where I had it. There it is. There he is. He's the Rogue Prince. And he obviously is someone that is a little out of touch with where we're at in the seeming release of information for the game right now, because he's a little bit farther into the past than where we're at right now. Definitely the Red Wedding if it's coming next as the Gold Road is way farther in the future than Daemon Targaryen's era. He was the Rogue Prince. And I'm telling you, whenever I opened up the game for the first time, this is one of the people that I was looking for right off the bat. Because Daemon Targaryen's story, to me personally, is just so interesting. Because I never usually gravitate towards the characters that are like honorable and good and just and all that. I always seem to gravitate towards the characters that have issues because they seem more relatable to me in my life than someone that is so straight-laced. I'm someone that has issues. So people like Daemon Targaryen is always somebody that I have always liked. And then when the season of House of the Dragon, first and second seasons, came out, and they cast Matt Smith in that role, which is the guy, the image you're seeing right here is Matt Smith. He was the guy that played Daemon Targaryen in the recent HBO series House of the Dragon, which, just a little side note, season 2 was an utter failure. The writers of that season should be fired. But anyway, that's a tangent for another day. When they cast Matt Smith in his role, that was really thrilling for me because Matt Smith is somebody that I love personally as an actor. From his time, I watched him as Doctor Who, and that was an excellent series, and he played an excellent role in that series. And to see him as Daemon Targaryen was just really good. I mean, he, to me, was probably the most fascinating character in House of the Dragon. Yes, I did like Rhaenyra until they destroyed her character in Season 2 with the nonsense they had her doing. But Daemon was always somebody that just had interesting things going on. He was always in something. You know, he was always either fighting and winning and killing people and being badass, or he was being tragically bothered by stuff, you know, or he had issues where he was constantly dealing with, should I try to take the throne or should I not, you know, and always at odds with Otto Hightower, and just, it was so cool. He was a member of House Targaryen, obviously. He was a younger son of Prince Balon Targaryen, and he was the brother to Viserys Targaryen. He also, through the custom of the Targaryens, was the second husband of Rhaenyra Targaryen. And yeah, he was just an interesting character. He was one of the best warriors of his time, and he wielded a legendary sword. That's probably the depiction of it there in that photo, was his Valyrian steel sword, Dark Sister, which got so much lore all in of itself, you know, alone. Besides Daemon, the sword has got a tremendous history. You could dig into that for days. He also was a dragon rider, which, I mean, makes him even that much more cooler. He rode Caraxes, the bloodworm, and Caraxes is in the game right now. Granted, he's kind of a lackluster hero. I have him at 4 or 5 stars, and he is still at level 1 for me because he's just not good. And I just haven't put the effort towards leveling him up because I know he's just not good. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool that he is a dragon rider, though, because that's one of the things that makes the Targaryens so unique. Because, like Daemon said, men did not make the Targaryens rulers, dragons did. So, yeah, that's why they are that important. He was somebody that was always finding ways to conquer his battles in war. He was a grand strategist and warrior, so he was just somebody that was just fascinating all the way around. Of course, he had lots of different love interests, and, you know, who as an interesting character would not, you know? I mean, he would be an interesting character in that realm, so of course, all the ladies would want to woo him, you know. So yeah, he was very, very cool. And I'm really looking forward to having him added into game, if they ever do, which I'm pretty sure they will. How can you have a Game of Thrones Legends game based around the people from the House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones and not add this guy? I mean, like I said, he was one that I looked for when I first opened the game. Because at the very start of the game, I was going to get him, and I was going to do whatever it took to buy his shards so that I could have him and I could play him in my party. I was basically going to build a party around this guy. I didn't care if he was good or not. I was still going to do it because the Targaryen faction is something that I love. It's my thing that I like to gravitate towards. That's why I've focused so much effort on building a fire team. I've had to kind of go fire and dabble in a little bit of ice, though, because I'm using Rhaenyra and Daenerys. And then I've got Ned and Tyrion and Grey Worm in there. So I've kind of got a little bit of fire and ice going on, so I call that my fire and ice team. But in the future, I would love to be able to take this guy and add him into my party. In the image, it shows him carrying a dragon egg. That's so cool. I love that. But in the future, I would like to be able to add him into my party, and I'm probably looking at slotting out Tyrion for him. That way I can take advantage of the 3 Targaryen buff, which I'm missing out on right now, which will make my party ultimately stronger. And hopefully his power is as good as or on par with Tyrion, so that I can not suffer the loss there too much. But I do want to ideally swap him into that party. The only 2 that I can really afford to even entertain the idea of changing him out for would be Tyrion or Ned. And I'm just loath to get rid of Ned. So I think Tyrion might be the one. I'm just not sure yet. It just kind of depends on his powers that they give him. I mean, hopefully they do him right. Hopefully they give him something strong. Because Daemon is not a weak person. He deserves to have a strong ability. He deserves to have one of the strongest abilities in the game. If he does not, I'm going to be utterly disappointed, because Daemon is pivotal to this game. He's pivotal to the lore that they're drawing on for their characters, and if he doesn't have a supreme power, I'm going to be really disappointed. I'm just going to postulate a guess here. I have not seen any assets on another Rhaenyra yet, but I'm just going to guess that they possibly might release Rhaenyra, the older version, to pair along with him when they do some kind of a Targaryen themed release. Hopefully maybe he will be the next Gold Road. That would be amazing. I would love that. Personally, I would have preferred him to be one of the first Gold Roads so that I could have bathed in the Targaryen glory, but it's coming at some point, hopefully. We don't know for sure. We have not been given any information by the developers. We found this my guy has found this information on his own. Had nothing to do with the game's developers or the company that makes the game or anything, other than the fact that they just allow this to be done by how they handle their files. But yeah. So here you go, folks. Here's a really good piece of information to ponder on today while you play your Game of Thrones. I hope that you enjoy what I brought to you today and be thinking about what you can do with him in the future. This game is a long play game, so there's no reason why you can't postulate what you're going to do with your account in the future, because this is a game you're going to be playing for a long time. You can see that by the way the resources are so stingy. You have to. Nobody can afford to spend the kind of money they're wanting you to spend to be able to be where you want to be with this game. So you're just going to have to obviously know that you're going to be playing this game for a long time if you decide to play it. So I hope that you found this video entertaining. And I did not mean to do that. While I was talking, I did not mean to do that particular summon. Well, that's just wonderful. I just wasted that token. I was actually trying to do this one and get my free daily summon, and I did the wrong one. Well, that would have been cool if it would have gave me a Balon, or a, what's his face, Greyjoy guy. I would have liked that. Anyway, I hope this video was interesting to you. I know that it was very interesting to me. When he brought me this piece of information, I immediately started salivating over it, and I was like, oh my god, this is my guy. You give me the one guy that is so key to me. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys will check the link in my description for a link to my Discord if you're interested in being with a thriving community of over 400 members that are loving the game and talking about the game on an hourly basis, daily basis, minute by minute. We have posts going off all day long. Our community is very active and very loving and open arms. Just don't go there and try to be a tool, because I do moderate it, so I will kick your butt out. Anyway, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And if you would, throw some comments in the comment section and discuss with me what you think about this information. Do you think he's coming soon? Do you not? Do you not agree with anything I said? Do you agree with any of it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just throw it out there, because I'd love to interact with you. And I can take constructive criticism, so if you have something to say about how I could improve, then throw that out there too. I'd love to hear it. So, I appreciate your time, and I thank you for watching my content, and I hope to see you again. I'll be bringing you the next juicy little bit, possibly tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on my weekend. But I've got another good one in the vault for you, just waiting to be made. I'll see you then. Bye.